Und damit ein herzliches Willkommen zu einem weiteren Part Let's Play Fake und Order. Ich bin es Fix. Beim letzten Mal haben wir hier das Emma-Teil hier im Endeffekt hier schon komplett aufgebaut. Das ist ja richtig spektakulär schön geworden. Wir sind hier nun auf den finalen Zügen und werden jetzt hier uns erstmal das letzte Artefakt schnappen. Und dazu machen wir etwas ganz Gefährliches. Nämlich muss ich jetzt leider sagen, da nehme ich jetzt nicht meine Tamamo, sondern eine andere Tamamo. Aber ihr wisst, Tamamos sind immer gut, egal in welcher Form und Farbe. Und wir werden hier mit Siegiböll kämpfen. Liebe Leute, mir graust auch dabei. Es ist so. Aber nichtsdestotrotz schnappen wir uns nun das letzte Artefakt, um mir das Emma-Teil zu retten. Im Records of the Emma-Teil Prosperities, dem Sparrow Daily Report, Swallows Moon Selection. Und hoffen wir mal, dass das hier doch zu einem guten Ende wird. I'm glad we now have 4 of the 5 treasure, but we still haven't had any luck with the 5th. Already is a swallow curry anyway. And what's our shell doing in a swallow's nest? In the first place. Oh, habe ich die ganze Zeit gesagt, wir brauchen 6? Nur 5. Ach, der ist ja eh schon geschafft. I've known to protect the occasional swallow's nest. This myself. Does this mean this so-called shell is a swallow that is eaten like a shellfish? No, I doubt it's anything. So awful as that. In the tale of the bamboo cutter, the 5 treasure are precious things meant to impossible to obtain. The swallow's curry is a shell that is swallowed to happen to pick up and carry it back to its nest, where it served as the base for the nest. It's easily the most realistic of all the 5 treasures. The catch is that finding one is a matter of luck. I see. So there's something born of a coincidence that can never be acquired through necessity. Well, if your only choice is to rely on luck, there is little point in dwelling on it. Master, might I suggest we visit the hot springs to clear our heads? Fufu! And so we are here. I see. So I've been doing much to aid this in. I have nothing but admiration for your willingness to help. I had no idea it was in such a dire state. That is why I have been so indulging myself in the hot springs. It's lunchtime. Compared to all of your valiant efforts, I may as well be an evanescence cloud to the autumn sky. Ha! Foo! All that aside, 5 precious treasures, you say? What a friendly, difficult task, and yet something seems amiss. You say this was the bamboo cutter from the tale of the same name? According to the tale, his adopted daughter, Kaguyashimi, said the following to the 5 men who came from the city to seek her hand in marriage. I cannot understand why any of you would wish to marry me when you know nothing of who I am. If you wish to take me for your bride, you must show that your love for me will never fade. She told each only to return after they had found one of 5 impossible treasures as proof of their love. Each of the 5 suitors set out to find the treasure as best they could, but not a one succeeded. Which is why I find it strange that this bamboo cutter claimed to possess all of the 5 of them. Then, does that mean? I never expected that you would. No, I'll be undergoing the same trials to separate in the old tale indeed. I'm surprised you have time to luxuriate in the hot springs yourself. I wish I could help you, but alas, the only thing I am good at is swimming a pole. Unlike the rest, I saw not through the sky nor spark flashes of light or any other remarkable deeds. As such, all I can do for you is rattle this cowley and pray for your success. Forgive me. Hey! Yes, what is it, Lord Maxi? Is something you wish to know about my rare seashell accessory? Foo! Forgive me, I could not resist my poor attempt to add humor. I always thought it was strange why an insignificant servant like myself found a way to the Emma-Teil. But now I finally understand. Here, I am happy to let you have the shell. Das war irgendwie viel zu leicht. Really? Just like that? I am not so poor as to draw my blade over a single shell, nor so quick to anger that I would chant over it. Now then, I think I shall be on my way. My only regret is that I never got to a duel with the Madame during my stay. I would have liked to know if my secret sword is still strong enough to stand up to the Sparrow. But alas, I will have to hope that question is answered another day. Fufu. Puh? Okay, liebe Leute, wenn Kojiro schon nicht hier uns bekämpft, da muss uns ja jemand anderes bekämpfen, sonst wird es ja irgendwie mega langweilig, oder? Und deswegen kommt natürlich niemand anders als, ihr seht es richtig, das Monstrum, auch bekannt als die furchtbar nervigen Dämonenaffen. Aber die stören uns nicht, denn jetzt sage ich bloß, Siggy Boy is on the road, Mann. Und wenn er eins machen kann, dann ist es gegen Assassin loopen. Das könnte man in Space Easter wahrscheinlich auch, aber gegen Assassins ist es immer hässlich zu loopen. Es ist einfach eine hässliche Klasse, Mann. Außer Jack und Korean Skya. So, und die Hasshounds, aber die zählen nicht. Die Hasshounds sind ja auch mega cool. Also, bang, bang, boom. So, hier ist übrigens die ultimative Looping-Strategie. Auch schön, dass wir das gleich so gezogen haben. Das gibt ja auch eine Farming Note gegen Assassins, die ich auch sehr ausführlich gespielt habe. Da kann er die letzte Wave nicht töten. Also allein durch seinen MP. Liegt auch daran, dass der Kleopatra mit 160.000 Leben rumgammelt. Und in der zweiten Welle ist auch so ein starker Gegner, aber solche Gegnerwellen, die haut er locker weg. Und ich bin natürlich sehr gespannt, wie es dann mit Castora läuft. Ich habe das Gefühl, wird doch noch Bond kommen. Was mir natürlich sehr viel Angst macht und ich ehrlich gesagt es nicht gut achte. So, meine kleinen Affen. Ei, der refundet auch so viel schön. Das ist so viel schöner als diese blöde Farming Note. So. Demonic Monkey. Ich finde, sie sehen eigentlich eher wie aus wie Drachen-Monkeys, oder? Leute, das sind sowas von Drachen-Monkeys. Ich sehe es doch ganz eindeutig. Oh, was machen wir mit Drachen-Monkeys? Die wegzaubern, Mann. Seine P ist immer noch cool, Mann. Egal was man über ihn hält, Mann, aber seine P ist definitiv cool. Algoro! Alfredo! Frag mir nicht, was er sagt. Ich kann das euch leider nicht sagen. So, wunderschön gefühlt verfarmt, oder? Bam, bam, bam. Und weiter geht's, liebe Leute. Und damit haben wir hier offiziell... Ich weiß gar nicht. Eigentlich, glaube ich, kommt das nicht mal Cutscene, oder? Ich meine, haben wir bekommen. Auf Wiedersehen, Affen. Catch them off guard before battle. So that's what you call military tactics, hä? Und das, we did it. We got out as Swallows Curry. Heißt es im Endeffekt, wir haben alle Sachen des Bobokatas hier geschnappt. Und das Emmerteil ist gerettet, hoffentlich, oder? Quarz. Hallo? 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 Ja, das sieht doch hier sehr schön. Also, gut. Und dann sind wir in, immer noch Chapter 11. Oder? Chapter 11 sind wir doch die ganze Zeit, oder? Ja, Section 11 Study at the Local. Aber schön, dass das in so viele Kapitel geteilt ist und ich dadurch immer Erfahrung bekomme, was ich ehrlich gesagt ziemlich nice finde und so soll es eigentlich immer bleiben. Quartz bekomme. We did it. We finally have all 5 of the Bobokatas treasures. To be honest, I didn't think we were going to pull it off. I should have known better. No, don't think I've forgotten how you went about getting the Dragon's Head gems. And Matthias, keep helping the sword. You thought that part really important, didn't you, Fern? Indeed. We need to have everything look exactly as it did 500 years ago. I believe the term for it is on-site inspection. Even better, it doubles as a lookout tower. It should let us bear witness to all sorts of things, just like Chaldea's simulator. If we can recreate the scene of the crime 500 years ago, we should see exactly what happened. Now that the building is restored in its past state, and with my clairvoyance which allows me to see things clearly with incredible detail, I can. So jeder Bombkutter, huh? We just started sucking his temp master. Ah, That is the very noble phantasm that saved the Knights of Fianna's lives more than times I can count. Fintan Finigas, the thump of knowledge. Sucking his thump is a noble phantasm? Is it true? There certainly are a lot of strange heroic spoons from the west. Blackbeard and Jackal come to mind. I'm not sucking my thumb. Thank you very much. I'll have you know I am bidding it. Oh, Mutters Baby ist Daumenlutschen. Oh, I say this about Blackbeard and Jackal. I've never seen them glow. Of course, the Salmon of Knowledge. It's a story that dates back to when Fionn McCamel was appreciated a druid named Finigas. Together they caught a rainbow-colored salmon that was said to impart wisdom to whoever ate it. Fionn cleaned and cooked the fish in order to serve as a mentor, but then... Yes, some of the salmon oil got on Fionn's thumb while he was cooking it. And that caused the wisdom crystal to reside within Fionn's thumb. Indeed. It scares me that he could have eventually had fate work in his favor like that. No. As much as I wish I could claim credit for that, it really just was a coincidence. It's one of the most embarrassing episodes of my entire life. But my mentor, Finnegas, just smiled and told me this is how it should be. He said that the salmon of knowledge was part of nature and that my action was similar and natural. In which case it is only right that it resides in you, but you must forget me if I take pity on you, golden-haired McCummel. After all, you will need to bite your thumb at every sign of trouble from here on. It makes me laugh just thinking about it. I see, he did have a point. Of course, I was still happy with this outcome. Daumenlutschen. Sehr schön. Finnegas had been searching for the salmon his whole life. Yet he was still happy that I received its wisdom, even after I inadvertently stole it from him. And that's one of the least outstanding things that happened to me, really. It's a wonder I became the captain of the Knights of Fianna. No more humble breaks. You can be humble or you can break, but not much at the same time. And that's what you're pondering with your salmon imparted wisdom right now anyway. I'm looking at the fact of this case, of course. There are any number of ways to learn about the past. Some use mystic eyes to crystals to view it directly. Others use accurate information and reconstruction. I favor the latter method, of course. Here at this lookout tower I was able to recreate the Amortized previous state in mind. What then? You know who took the treasure? Es war der Bombencutter, ich weiß doch. Oh, I already knew that beyond any doubt. No, I merely wanted to know what the room looked like back then. As long as I can calculate that, all that remains is to resolve this to the best of our shared ability. You mean, as in all of us? That's right. Figuring the one responsibility was easy, but proving it will be far more difficult. Not even collecting all 5 treasures will be enough to handle everything. I see, yes. These are indeed 5 treasures, but they are not the ones I had stolen. They may be the same objects, but the value differs greatly. I don't want to just all treasures returned to me. They must be the ones that were taken. The bamboo cutter counters all along these lines, and make no mistake, he almost certainly will. We won't have to leg to stand on. So you're saying the bamboo cutter never actually wanted to be compensated for his treasure? That he was actually after the Ematai from the start? I believe so. I think he is only pretending to act in good faith and is actually ruining a scam. Then, and the 5 treasures still won't be enough to convince him. What else can we do? Easy. We fight cunning with cunning. In fact, the reason I asked you all here was to help me prepare one last finishing touch. Oh, by the way, Kieme, is it true that you can tell when someone is lying? Of course. I've never let any man get away with a falsehood. What about Madame Beni-ema? Is she capable of seeing through lies too? No, Miss Beni-ema doesn't have any such ability. She just punishes people that were caught lying. She learned the intricate Batucho from the great King Emma himself. Once it becomes clear that someone is lying, that's when she cut off their tongue on the spot. Good, good. That should help us push one responsibility over the edge. Alright, Ring, get around and I'll explain the plan. In essential, we'll be putting on a performance, or in the language of the middle-aged man we know, a con. Huh? Nu. Okay, liebe Leute. A new scenario quest will be unlocked upon receiving true reports. Head to the event about leave reading. So, das machen wir. Brauche ich echt noch mehr Punkte? Ehrlich gesagt, dachte ich, dass 500.000 Punkte langen, um das Spiel abzuschließen. Genau, aber jetzt ist es eigentlich schon vorbei, liebe Leute. Ach nee, man kann schon weitermachen. Okay, ich dachte mir gerade, hä? Was zur Hölle, Mann? Also, liebe Leute, und damit befinden wir uns schon, ich glaube, im letzten Kapitel Records of the Emotei, Boss Parties, Section 12, Chaldea Detective Stories, Final Act. Tadam. Mit aller Kraft, mit Leidenschaft, suchen Sie die Wahrheit, die man vor uns versteckt. Dann wird es, war irgendwie so. Ja, schlecht genau schauen. Ne Vion lacht, Mann. Today's the day the cutter comes to collect. Yes, today's the day when the bomber cutter promised to come back. Jap! See, you all knew. I was hoping to resolve this matter without involving any of you. Front some bonus pay and we call it even. I see. Well, if your employees read and out from misjudged of obligation, I have no reason to refuse. My, so many serious faces. What brings you all out here in this early morning? You obviously aren't here to throw a party. Haha. Does mean the Amethyster is finally coming to an end. He's here! Jump, the bomber cutter's here! I appreciate all your employees coming out here to greet me like this. Then again, I suppose you must all face it, as I've been waiting 100 years to be repaid. Still, you can't fill a ledger with a sentiment alone, so let's get to it, shall we? You can start by paying me back last year's interest, 100 billion Kopie. Diese Billion with a B? Was? So viel kann man gar nicht sammeln, das ist unmöglich. Das ist Cheaten, liebe Leute. Ich kann nur Millionen, ich kann keine Milliarden machen. Please come down, Master. I agree, it's a shocking amount, but that is the strange part. I'm very sorry, sir, but I can't pay your interest. The divine hour in the offering box is off limits right now, so I can at least take the sage cloak to the pawn shop. It may not look like much, but it was given me by the king of hell himself. As long as we find a buyer, I think it should be able to cover the interest. Absolutely not. I've extended the deadline more than enough. Whatever reason you have for your invalidity, none of my concern. And who in their right mind would pay anything for such a ready old cloak? Oh, ist so gemein zu ihr. If you can't even pay back the interest, then I have no choice but to seize the Emotei. I'm afraid that at this moment the Emotei belongs to me. I have to ask that you all leave my property at once. Oh yes, I suppose the sparrow can stay, since they essentially come with it. Naturally, I now own them as well. It's unfortunate that they are all a bunch of useless elves. Perhaps they at least make a good meal for the tiger. Jump! This is Darwin, jump! It's good, jump! Have you no heart, jump! That was never part of our agreement. Hold it right there. Maxi, what is it? What are you all doing? Yes, what's this about a human? This arrangement is illegal and binding. Do you have some objection to it? You bet we do! Vertrauen niemals alten Männern. Heute probably insolent. You should be ashamed for your speaking to the elders like that. Traue niemals alten Männern, das hat mir Moriarty beigebracht. But I suppose I can overlook your rudeness, given how young and ignorant you are. Now, what is this objection? As in regards to the deal you struck with Miss Beni-ema, of course. You claimed that your invaluable treasure were stolen in the Emotei. Miss Beni-ema was unable to find the culprit or clear her employees of suspicion, so she had promised to pay her damages. Do I have all that right? Yes, that's exactly what happened. What of it? In that case, we can put this whole matter to the rest right now. Can't we, Lady Tomoe? Yes, we can. I have wonderful news for you, Lord Bamboo Cutter. Our leader Fionn Camel, a glorious man possessed of wisdom and clairvoyance, easily managed to recover your stolen treasures. You don't say? That is most impressive. But those are merely substitutes you acquired from who knows where else, no? The only treasures I'm interested in are the ones I had taken from the back then, my replaceable keepsakes of the time Kage and I spent to... Worry not, good elder. I am well aware of that not, but the treasure you lost 500 years ago would satisfy you. So please rest assured, those are exactly the treasures we have procured. What was that? Did I hear right? Are you truly telling me you can return the treasures that had been stolen from me 500 years ago right here, right now? Das ist jetzt nämlich der Trick. Wenn er nämlich bestätigt, dass es nicht seine Schätze sind, dann ist die goldene Frage, woher weiß er, dass es nicht seine Schätze sind? Of course, come with us, and I'll show you what I mean. Let us return to the scene of the crime, the very raven room you stayed in 500 years ago. That's not the usual way of pepper in this hallway. It almost looks as if... This hallway? This door? It can't be. It's not possible. It's the exact same room as back then. Of course. We're now in the Empire as it existed 500 years ago after all. See, isn't that the pouch in the middle of the room? Haha, as luck would have it, our own Fionn Camel here can manipulate time and space itself. A little snap of her fingers and voila, here we are. It's good to have such a capable substitute. This is impossible. Only a divine spirit could do something like that. Huh? You mean you really don't know? Huh? Oh, I don't. I've never heard of this Fionn whatever before. It's time to face the fact, old lumberjack. The past is now your present. All you have to do now is open your pouch and take back your treasures. Of course, the pouch will be empty again, and you in the 500 years in the past won't know where this treasure went. You might think that makes this one of those time paradoxes, but no, it all works out nicely. This way it will just mean that you were the true thief all along. Now go on, take your treasures, clear the amortized step, and leave this place for good. This can't be happening. You might want to hurry up. This time travel spell won't last very long. If you don't take your precious treasures back now, you'll never get another chance. That's right. Go and hurry up. I know you can do it. This is like something out of a storybook. I can't wait to see you open it. You see, I'm not. What's wrong? Aren't you going to open it? Surely there can't be any reason you would be reluctant to see what's inside, is there? Mr. Bamboo Cutter, is everything okay? Oh, er ist übrigens der alte Mann aus ihrer Geschichte, fällt mir gerade auf. Yes, everything's fine. Of course I open it. If this really is the raven from 500 years ago, that... You open it. Now then. Chip, so those are the Bamboo Cutter's treasures. The pouch contained the 5 treasures we all worked together collect. There's no way he can claim that are fakes under these circumstances. And if he instead denies that this room isn't really from the past? Lies! I knew we hadn't really gone back in time. You were all just putting on an act to make me think we had. If this really was the past, there wouldn't be anything in this pouch. I never brought any treasures with me to begin with. Jetzt hat er es zugegeben. I'm sorry, Mr. Bamboo Cutter. Could you repeat that? Did you really just say you never had any treasures to begin with? You've got it all wrong, madam. That's not what I meant. You were there, right? Money-head monkey. You were my admitters back then, weren't you? Haha, yes, of course. Back in the dining room, I distinctly remember seeing the treasures in the pouch with my own... Something doesn't smell right here. You're lying, aren't you? Oh, of course not. I saw them. I know I did. The treasures were right there. Then please describe them to us. What did the jeweled branch smell like? How heavy was the bang bowl? How many dragon-head gems were there? What color was the curry? If you really saw them, you should be able to name at least one of their distinctive features. Well, na, ist 500 Jahre her. Whoops, pardon me. You know we cats are. We just can leave open parts strings untied. Stupid failing. I ask you one more time, Mr. Bamboo Cutter. Did you or did you not bring the treasures to the Emmertal? I did. Of course I did. I'm the Bamboo Cutter from the story. Of course I had all 5 of the treasures. You are lying. Did you just cut off his max before I could blink? Ugh! I won't punish you for your shame. I should have known better than to fall for it, but I refuse to tolerate lies cheap. You little spare, how dare you tear up my face? You'll pay for this. You think you can win again just because you have the numbers? Your little brat really pisses me off. The Bamboo Cutter's spirit origin pattern is changing rapidly. It looks like it's summoning in nature. Huh? Why, Mr. Monkey? Stupid brats, I was just having some fun messing with this gullible little trip. Why do you cretins have to butt into your games here? To monkeyed? No wait, does this mean the Bamboo Cutter was actually a moneyed monkey all along? It's not that, Tommy. I hate to admit it, but this monkey is just like Miss Beni-ema. It wears in on all folktales, just as she does. An evil monster without a name, who likes to toy with the law dead and devour the weak. I'm guessing that masked monkey claiming to be the Bamboo Cutter is actually the monkey from the Crow of the Monkey and the Crab. Yeah, that's right. I'm the ape who got ganged up in a bunch of lousy do-gooders. Anyway, look like the jig's up. Snake, Tiger, get your asses over here. We're going back to normal. Well, I suppose I should have known this was coming. Dash tour on a tour? And what is that thing? It looks like has a monkey face, tiger's body, and a snake of a tail. They must have split into 3 in order to infiltrate the Emmertal. A particular creature that goes like a bird at night, often human scratches on loss of identity. I see. I must have put on a battlefield to keep out the seasoned monster slayer. Tower and Raikou never came despite the obvious threat here. You probably targeted them specifically. Don't pretend like you know me, bitch! What makes you different from me? You're just as monsters as I am, and you know it. Your act now isn't gonna change a thing. Now I've gotcha. Keiner beleidigt bei der Tamama! Haut jetzt ab. He jumped out of the window, and from the sound of the footsteps it's headed for the shrine. It still don't know exactly what the thing is, but it's clear if it wants to harm the Emmertal. It must mean to destroy the shrine. Come on, let's hurry. Indeed. If it thinks it can run around destroying whatever it likes, it's surely mistaken. Chap, we'll protect you together. Also, liebe Leute, dann ist es wohl an der Zeit, hier unsere 3 nicht so netten Gäste hier endlich für das zu bestrafen, was sie hier dem Emmertal angetan haben. Beim nächsten Mal werden wir wohl dann hier das Event dann beenden. Bis dahin verabschiede ich mich nochmal. Ich war Fix und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.